skins of their family members in Pahalgam attack. Our army personnel targeted only those people, those areas who were acting against India. And then, sir, Operation Sindoor had an overall political-military objective, which was to punish the Pakistan, which is indulging in a proxy
war against India, and therefore we gave full freedom to army.
Honorable Leader of Opposition, that you please listen to my whole speech. Then you can ask any question. You have full freedom to raise any question. I will reply to it. Sir, on the morning of 10th May, when Indian Air Force attacked Batkul air base, then Pakistan bent and they tried to stop this hostility. And this was accepted with a caveat that this operation has been paused only. It has not been stopped completely. It's not over. If from the side of Pakistan, in future, any such misadventure takes place, then Honorable Speaker sir, through you I would like to apprise this August House that this same operation will be reinitiated in future. Honorable Speaker sir, the stellar attacks of Indian Air Force and the action taken by our Army and our Navy, the calibrated effort of all the tri-services efforts forced Pakistan to bend, and it was just an attack on its morale and the army efficiency. And they contacted India's DGMO and they appealed to stop this military action. Sir, I would like to reiterate in this August House that the DGMO of Pakistan, they contacted India's DGMO and they appealed to stop these military action on 12th May. Between the DGMOs of both the country, there was a formal discussion and they agreed to it. Honorable Speaker sir, the morale of our soldiers to protect the motherland, their commitment during this Operation Sindoor, we have seen it, and the whole nation, 140 crore people of this country have seen it clearly. Sir, I myself, Honorable Prime Minister, and we have got this opportunity to meet our soldiers in the bordering areas in the Srinagar Air Base, Bhuj Air Base and Udhampur Center. I myself have witnessed that the morale of our soldiers is on the peak, and they had faith and confidence in their eyes, and they are firm determined, and they are not only protecting the borders of our country, but they are also protecting our national respect also. Sir, in any country, the people give different mandates and responsibility to the treasury benches and the opposition, and it happens in the democracy. So the treasury benches have to carry the work, keeping the interest of the people in mind, and this is the task of opposition, that they should raise important questions which are related to the welfare of the people. Why was Operation Sindoor started? I have stated it earlier also, and today also I have informed this August House. Honorable Speaker sir, sometimes the people from opposition, they have been asking that how many aircrafts were knocked down. I think this is not the right question. This is not the healthy question. Not a single time they have asked us how many aeroplanes have been knocked down by our army. They have not asked it. If they want to raise some question, then their question should be whether Indian military has destroyed these terror infrastructures in Pakistan, and the answer will be yes. Sir, I would like to praise honorable members from opposition. If you want to raise any question, you should ask whether Operation Sindoor has been successful, then the reply will be yes. If you want to raise any question, if you want to ask anything, then you should ask the terrorist who, who ruined the Sindoor of our mothers and sisters. Have we ruined these militants in turn? Then the reply will be yes. And if you want to ask, you should ask that whether during Operation Sindoor have we faced anything, any loss? Is there any loss to our Indian soldiers? The answer will be no. Sir, when we have big targets, then the comparatively smaller issues should not be taken into account. If we have some great issues, because these trivial issues are not important and we cannot compromise the security of our country.
And we may get distracted, as many of our friends from opposition have been doing, because my friends from opposition, they are not raising valid questions related to Operation Sindoor. So what should I tell them? Sir, from approximately 4 decades I have been in politics. Either it is treasury benches or it is opposition, either it's my party or other party. I have never supported this
politicizing this matter, and I would like to help the opposition in politicizing this matter, and I would like to help the opposition in some task which they are doing. Sir, I want to tell honorable members in opposition that if we are in treasury benches, so it's not that we have been in treasury benches for the whole time. We have been doing very good works while we were in opposition, and we have also raised the questions when we were in opposition, when we were given the mandate to be in the opposition, and we have played the role as an opposition very positively. Honorable Speaker, sir, when we were in opposition, so we used to raise some questions. I would like to cite some examples here. In 1962, Honorable Speaker, sir, during the China war, when we got some sad news, so we asked some questions from the then government. The question was that how is there any encroachment on our motherland from the cross-border government, and we asked why our army and why our countrymen got insulted. We asked how so many soldiers were killed in this war. We did not ask at how many tanks and machines and guns, why they have been ruined, why they have been so we have not worried about the machines and guns, and in turn we have worried about our soldiers. In the same way, in the 1971 war, when we taught a lesson to Pakistan, sir, I would like to congratulate the then government, and we praised our political and military leadership. We have never seen that what should be the ideology. We have never cared about. Our honorable leader
Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji always praised the leadership of that time, and we were happy because we won and we taught a lesson to the enemy. We never raised such questions that during this process how many planes knocked down and how many equipments were destroyed. So this was not the question which was raised by us. Honorable Speaker, sir, if I explain it in more practical way, sir, in the result of any examination, it is the result which matters. If any students gets good marks in any examination, so the matter should matter. We should not get into other trivial matters, whether he lost his pen during this examination or anything happened to the pen. Honorable Speaker, sir, ultimately result matters, and the result is, sir, result matters at the end,
And the result is that during Operation Sindoor, the targets which were fixed by our army and other services, we have completely achieved these targets. Sir, India has always been expecting good relations and good coordination with the neighbors. So all the governments of our country have been making efforts in an honest way, either it is Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, or Manmohan Singh ji, or Shri Narendra Modi ji. All have always made endeavors to maintain peace and to establish peace among the neighbors. Cultural values which have been live from 1,000 years, and it shows our values because we consider that peace is the true power. Sir, our efforts for the peace and our humble nature is sometimes considered as our weakness. During Kargil, in Kargil, Pakistan was involved in some conspiracies at that time. Although we were on the way of friendship, then when this news came out, then our soldiers started the action, and when the victory was in front of India, then Pakistan warned about nuclear attack. Then Honorable Atalji said that India is not going to get any loss from the nuclear attack, but Pakistan will not be able to see the next day. Means Atalji was the ambassador of peace, but he conveyed this message very strictly to Pakistan. So this was the mandate and message of power and strength. But if anyone wants our sovereignty, then we will definitely give reply in the same language. Sir, in 2015, when our Prime Minister Modi ji had a meeting with Nawaz Sharif, then India again initiated for the friendship. Honorable Speaker, sir, we in fact we want to take the way of peace because this is our real nature, and our real nature derives from Buddha, not from the wars and youths. And our government has been involved in many efforts to establish peace and
surgical strike in 2016, and air strike in Balakot in 2019, and Operation Sindoor in 2025. We have been making efforts to establish peace, and there has been many ways of doing this. Honorable Speaker, sir, our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, and this is the stand of our government also. We have very clear stand that terrorism and talks cannot go together, because the talks take place between the civilized nations and the democratic nations, but a nation where there is no democracy and which lives on the religious fanaticism and terrorism and hatred against India, they have this slogan. So we cannot have such peace-related dialogues with such country, because the language of terrorism is different. It is the bloodshed and fear and the hate. This is not based on the dialogues, and the sound of dialogue is nowhere in the firings, and during bloodshed we cannot have dialogues, especially on peace. Sir, if we look at the present condition of Pakistan, it is clearly evident, and this country is facing a lot of difficulty to its own actions, and there should be no doubt on the intentions of Pakistan. This is such a country which is the nursery of global terrorism, and it is the part of the state policy also. Honorable Speaker, sir, during Operation Sindoor, the whole world has seen that in Pakistan, the government supports the militants, and they are arranging state funeral for the militants, and their army officers are also participating these funeral occasions. So this is the country which doesn't dare to show bravery on the border, and they attack the pilgrims and the religious people. The army of Pakistan and ISI go hand in hand, and they use proxy war as an instrument, and they try to destabilize India. Sir, in this temple of democracy, I am saying this with full responsibility, that thousand type of troubles are given by Pakistan to India, and we will never tolerate it, and we can go to any extent to fight with this terrorism. Honorable Speaker, sir, we all know the history of our country. We have never encroached even a single inch of any country, single inch land of any country. We know that we should fight with the equal people, and it has been written by Goswami Tulsidas ji, and Goswami Tulsidas ji says that the policy should be the same, and we should, if we talk about enemy or friendship, it should be on equal basis, and the strong creatures should not attack the poor creatures. Sir, our military is like a lion. Honorable Speaker, sir, Pakistan like country which is shy, and this is nowhere on any front in front of us. So how can we compare our country with this country? This country is dependent for its prosperity on other countries. It means its existence is so weak. And sir, this is our endeavor to take action against terrorism, and this is their policy to nurture terrorism. Honorable Speaker, sir, if we want, we know it very well how to attack on the hands, how to cut the hands who spread terrorism in our country. Sir, if we are making efforts for the peace, then we know it very well to teach them lesson in their own language. As it is said that we should behave in the same language with the corrupt people. Sir, we have learned from Lord Krishna that we can pardon, as he pardoned 100 mistakes of Shishupal, and finally he had to take Sudarshan Chakra to punish him.
We have tolerated the attack on Parliament in 2008 and Mumbai attack in 2008. We have also foregone that. But now we have committed that enough is enough. Now we have taken up Sudarshan Chakra in our hands. Honorable Speaker, our nature, our nurture is inspired by Lord Ram and Lord Krishna, which also teaches us bravery as well as tolerance. And this lesson which we have learned under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, in our foreign policy and defense, we have implemented. First, we extend our hands of friendship, but if any country enters into treachery, we want how to deal with that. Our policy is very clear. We had taken a bus journey to Lahore, and Pakistan could not understand our that soft language, and we had to teach them in the language of Balakot strike. Our priority is peace, and this is the basis of this peace is truth, and peace is priority, and our strength is its foundation. And this truth has come out of our capacity. Our capacity has gone many times up. It was there in past also, but it has gone up many times. Now it is fourth largest economy. By 2028, we are going to be the largest third economy in the world, and we are pressing ahead to that direction. Honorable Speaker, along with the economic development in the area of defense since 2014, there has been remarkable changes. And today's India is self-reliant in defense sector. And in indigenous production, we are pressing ahead very fast. Honorable Speaker, we are very competent as well as we are self-reliant. Honorable Speaker, now I'd like to apprise the Honorable House. When the question was asked to all secretary, chief, and CDS whether they were ready for operation, they did not take a moment, and they said yes. Honorable Speaker, Operation Sindoor is a symbol of our capacity, and we have shown that if anybody kills our citizen, India will not keep silent. For self-defense, our leadership is very competent, and without any pressure, our missiles, they will cross the physical border, and our brave soldiers, they will break the shoulder of the enemy. We are committed to remove terrorism from the face of our country, and we will have to understand that
there is a method in this madness.
This was a pre-planned strategy. This is fundamental rage. Honorable Speaker, the famous writer V.S. Naipaul had said that being in Pakistan is such an alternate and fantastic reality, is reality.
Freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength.
That means here only combat is peace and illiteracy is strength there. Honorable Speaker, that is why this terrorism sponsored by Pakistan was not insanity. It was not an act of insanity. It was part of well-planned strategy. It is such a process that it uses terrorism as a political tool. It's not only terrorism. This is a toolkit, such a toolkit which when the agencies of Pakistan is using as a policy matter.
Civilized code of conduct that the rest of the world prefers to abide by.
That means this toolkit is against that civilized code of conduct which each civilized citizen or nation of the country accedes to. This is a reflection of such a fundamental thought where there is no tolerance. We do not have any border dispute with Pakistan. Rather, it is uncivilization versus barbarism. The rulers of Pakistan know that they can't win their soldiers they can't win with India, and that is why they nurture terrorism. And then, before the world, they try to prove themselves as innocents. They pretend innocence. Honorable Speaker, Pakistan is standing on the very untruth foundation and treachery. Through Operation Sindoor, we have shown to the world that we will wipe out this terrorism, devil of terrorism. Honorable Speaker, when Atalji was Prime Minister, we started a composite dialogue with Pakistan, and we had entered an agreement that Pakistan will not use its land for spreading terrorism. This was part of a composite dialogue. Pakistan had accepted that time, but unfortunately, in 2009, in Sarmal Sheikh, the then government violated this process of composite dialogue, and it was dealing with the Pakistan terrorism. That means, in order to continue with dialogue, it was diluted by Pakistan not to enter into any kind of terrorism. It was an act to weaken the composite dialogue. And the same thing happened later on also, when Pakistan was considered to be victim of Pakistan. And there was an agreement also in 2006 on joint venture. It's a matter that a country which nurtures terrorism, and that country was considered and termed as a victim. This is such a travesty against terrorism. Our war is not confined to borders. Rather, it will be also fought on ideological level. That is why Honorable Prime Minister, on many high levels, he constituted many delegations, and many honorable members of all parties also part of that delegation. Representatives of different political parties are there in the delegations, and these delegations on the world stage, they presented the ideology of India and against terrorism, and they garnered world opinion against terrorism. I salute all the members of these delegations who took the stand, and they showed the zero tolerance policy before the world. And they apprised the nations in a very effective way of our stand. There was all-party meeting in about Operation Sindoor.
During Operation Sindoor, all the political parties of the country kept aside all ideologies and differences and showed solidarity with the nation, with the soldiers and with the government.
I'm again extending my thanks, and it seems that this is the beauty of democracy of this country. Honorable Speaker, sir, as Honorable Prime Minister said, and he has said it, that Operation Sindoor has not stopped. It has just ceased. It has not come to an end. If need be, if Pakistan again acts in a nefarious manner, then more decisive strike will take place. Honorable Speaker, through Operation Sindoor, in the thought of Pakistan, there was a misapprehension in the mind of Pakistan. We have removed that apprehension. And if there is iota of any apprehension, that will be removed. I am reminded of national poet Ramdhari Dinka, that that even if there is devil, and then we term them as the most coward. Honorable Speaker, we have not only demonstrated our defense system and capacity, rather we have also given evidence of our capacity and bravery. We are in a position to give befitting reply. We have drawn a line of demarcation, and the people who are perpetrators of terrorism, supporters of terrorism, they will be dealt with sternly, and we are not going to bow down before any such devil nations. Honorable Speaker, sir, through Operation Sindoor, whatever we have done, and before that we also did a surgical strike and air strikes, we have gave a clear message. It should have been given earlier, but there is a time fixed for anything. Honorable Speaker, sir, against terrorism, our government has adopted a zero-tolerance policy, and we have made it very clear to the Committee of Nations that we are not going to compromise on this zero-tolerance. A few weeks ago, I had an opportunity to participate in a Shanghai meeting, a declaration which was being prepared. The stand of India was getting diluted. We said it very clear that until unless there is a clear-cut stand of India, we are not going to sign on any joint statement, and because of this commitment, no such statement came in. And what was its consequence, Honorable Speaker? Our Honorable Prime Minister, he went to Brazil. He did a miracle there. So in the presence of China, the joint declaration which came in Jammu and Kashmir, attack on Jammu and Kashmir was attacked. It was condemned. This is the charisma of Honorable Prime Minister, and the conviction of India was accepted. It happened for the first time in Jammu and Kashmir. Terrorist attack was condemned. I would like to apprise this House that in 2008 in Mumbai, such a big terrorist act took place, but then government should have taken effective steps, but it could not materialize. But the very unfortunate thing is that many national and world forums, it should have been condemned at least, but it did not happen. After that event, look at the BRICS conference documents. There is not even a mention of Mumbai terrorist attack. Honorable Speaker, when Modi ji formed his government in center, then the situation changed altogether. And in 2007, the BRICS conference, 2017 BRICS conference took place. For the first time, Jaish and Lashkar terrorist organizations were condemned, and they were included in the list of terrorists. This situation arose because just 1 year prior to that, the Pune incident, and our soldiers went to border and did surgical strike. We said to the world that this side of border and that side across the border will go and hit the perpetrators in their homes. This change took place under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister. This is the same policy, Honorable Speaker, that we should have been adopted by earlier government. The governments who faced the dreaded terrorist challenges. In 2008, terrorist attack of Mumbai is still alive in the minds of each citizen of the country. This is alive as a tragedy. Sri Pranab Mukherjee ji, in his book, The Coalition Years, he has written, I have this book. In Coalition Years, he has written, when Mumbai attack took place. Pranab Mukherjee ji has written, when Mumbai attack took place, India had...
That the terrorists came from Karachi port. Pakistan के non-state actors के बहाने पूरी...
In the name of non-actors, on the pretext of non-actors, nobody was accepting this, and he has written...
Heated debates within the cabinet. Amid heated debates within the cabinet, there was a demand for military intervention, which I rejected. ये उन्होंने लिखा, मैंने नहीं लिखा.
written by him and not by me. Honorable Speaker, a senior officer of Indian Foreign Service has written, he is Ajay Vicharya, and he was Foreign Secretary. After the Mumbai attack, there was a meeting, and Pranoda asked what should be done. Then the Foreign Secretary, Shiv Shankar Managing, has suggested that India should attack with cruise missile. Then he wiped his spectacles and he thanked all officers, and he did not say anything. Whatever was deemed fit by the government, it was done, but I do feel that if the then government had done the surgical strikes like an air strikes would have been taken by the then government, then the Pakistan strategic calculations would have changed. A powerful decisive action was needed against Pakistan or sponsored terrorism. This would have proved to be a disincentive if such strikes would have taken place in 2008 after Mumbai attacks. The then government, they just took the soft way of dialogue. This is not criticism. This is not a criticism of that government or Prime Minister or leaders, whatever leadership thought proper, they took the decision. Honorable Speaker, but I would like to just say that today's India is having a different thinking, different mindset, and different mode of action. I feel that your opponent who has adopted terrorism as a strategy and does not have ears for dialogue, then there is nothing, no alternative except direct strike. Honorable Speaker, today, under the leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, India is not a country which was earlier. Today, those years,
decisive action. Today, those years have been replaced by decisive action. Aaj Bharat.
India does not tolerate, rather it gives a befitting reply. Today, India goes in the roots of terrorism and wipes out the terrorism. I would like to assure this House and the countrymen that our defense system, our all honorable members coming together, whatever action will be needed, will take those steps, and we are totally committed towards that. Honorable Speaker, at the end, I will just say that this is time to be united in our self-defense, in our sovereignty, and in our self-respect. And we have further to boost it. We have to be reminded, we have to remember that our political unity is our biggest strength. Honorable Speaker, giving support to terrorism and those people who give support to terrorism, a clear message has gone that in order to defend our motherland, we are totally committed, come together. We should rise above political ideology, and we should be united, and we should further give boost to national commitment. This is our national responsibility. With these words, you gave me an opportunity to speak. I'm thankful to you, and I'm also thankful to all honorable members. And then I conclude. Everyone listen to me with rapt attention. Thanks everybody for this.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Today, on this special discussion, we are here to participate. And in this discussion, why this discussion is happening is because recently the war which took place was the war of information. And in one way, this neighboring country and the whole world was to be informed about the truth. And there were some powers there were some powers which indicated this myth in the country and the world. And that's why in this discussion, this special demand was such that today the truth must be there before the House. And the truth about Pahalgam must be there before us, and truth about Operation Sindoor should be presented here, and about the foreign policy also. The truth should come out, and today this information war which has been raised, about which we are talking about, today in the speech of Rajnath Singh ji, we saw those things. He gave a lot of information, he shared many kinds of information, but as a defense minister, he never said that in Pahalgam how these terrorists came, and he never mentioned about their arrival, how they arrived. And thousands of people, where people go as tourists, and they have this fun and frolic, how these 5 terrorists reached there, and 26 persons were gunned down by them. This thing never mentioned by, this information was never passed by the Honorable Defense Minister. This is the war of information, that they provide so much of information, but sometimes it's very tough to raise the questions also. And today, this is a duty of the opposition, that we will rise to ask questions about the national interest. For the interest of nation, we'll ask these questions. And today the country wants to know that those 5 terrorists, how they got the access to the place. And he must have talked about those terrorists. And the terrorists who came from Pakistan, who came there, what was their objective? Their objective was to destroy the economy of J&K, and their target was to see that in the country we should have a communal war. That kind of communal feeling was to be spread by them, and they wanted that India and Pakistan must have this have a nation. And this was the target. And sir, I'm sorry to say that today Rajnath Singh ji talked about the soldiers, but the people of the country who have known about the objective of the terrorists, he has neglected those things. We are proud that we are together. We have seen how in Jammu and Kashmir people, the way the tourists come there, they help them. We saw that they help the tourists, and how in this country the tourists who visit Jammu and Kashmir, to the brothers and sisters of J&K, they thanked. And we have seen how one widow, Masha Narwal, she mentioned that I don't want that my husband, about whom so much of politics is going on his dead body, somebody should politicize about Hindus and Muslims. I don't want this. This is the people and culture of this country. And this was the purpose of Pakistan, to spread this hatred. And I also want to say that all opposition parties, we should get together. And Rahul ji mentioned very clearly that we are with the government, and the government has to send a very strong message to Pakistan. But this country also wants that these 26 persons who were killed, those families who lost them, they also want to know that 100 days have passed, and those 5 terrorists have not been caught so far by this government. The countrymen also want to know that these 5 terrorists who were there, those terrorists who reached there, got access to the place, definitely they have been given access, and they have given the place to stay by these people. And all this firing and all these kinds of activities happened there. Somebody helped them to get free from that place, to flee that place, and government doesn't have any response to that. Today, you have the drone, you have the Pegasus, you have the satellite, you have the GRPF there, you have the BSF, you have the CISF, you have Honorable Minister of Defense also went there, Honorable Minister of Home Affairs went there. You get the information, but you could not catch the terrorists. What kind of system is this? What kind of arrangement is this? And you mentioned that Article 370, when it was repealed, the condition of Jammu Kashmir is very safe. You come to Jammu and Kashmir, people also came as tourists, they felt safe. But I saw how they were without arms, how they were at unease, that it took 1 hour for the ambulance to reach them to help. If army also came, it came by on foot. And sir, I can't forget that situation. One mother and daughter, they were walking to this place, and a soldier of our country, I saw him. And when they saw that soldier, they were crying with fear because they felt that those terrorists who were wearing the uniform of the soldiers and they killed them, those same terrorists are there, waiting for them there. And the soldier had to mention that I'm an Indian. Please don't be afraid of me. I'm a soldier, not just by uniform. I'm an Indian soldier. That kind of fear, apprehension they felt. And on this apprehension, on this fear, Rajnath Singh ji never mentioned a single word. You must have said some word on that. This is your responsibility, sir. Rajnath Singh ji, you must have mentioned something about this. This was the responsibility of Ministry of Defense also. That time and again we see, sir, that Honorable Minister of Home Affairs goes there. He said it's very good arrangement there. Terrorism has been completely annihilated. Its backbone has been broken. Then also Pulwama also happens. Pahalgam happens. And in the end, who will take the responsibility? The Lieutenant Governor of Jammu, no, he doesn't take the responsibility. Somebody has to take the moral responsibility. Then this Minister of Home Affairs, you have to take the moral responsibility. You have to take this more responsibility. You can't just hide yourself behind the governor, Lieutenant Governor. You can't hide behind him because Minister of Home Affairs, he was there in the same week. He had seen the review of security.
और सर ये
Didn't he have any information? No, he had. And this government is so weak and so poor by heart that today you can see if anybody was blamed, it was blamed to other persons. That those door operators, they opened the doors without license. They allowed the people to get access to that place. We never knew about this. This is the response which they're providing, sir. This is the response they're giving. This is a matter of grief. That somewhere in this government, we have got the haughtiness, this proudy nature of this government. We can see the security establishment which is there, the people who take decisions in the intelligence. Today they have got they're full of pride that whatever mistake they commit, they should not be questioned for that. But today we are raising this question. Today we raise this question. We will definitely raise these questions to them, sir. Modi ji, the Prime Minister of country, you were there in the Saudi Arabia, and when you come back here in the country, your first moral responsibility was to go to Pahalgam, but you didn't go to Pahalgam. For this government proceeding, you went to Bihar for some election campaign and to deliver a speech there. The Prime Minister of this country was in Saudi Arabia. He completed the whole program. He came back to the country, and instead of going to Pahalgam, he went to Bihar for this election speech. If somebody went to Pahalgam, our leader Rahul Gandhi, he went there to Pahalgam.
पहलगाम में जो लोगों
If the people who died there in Pahalgam, for them, for the status of martyrdom, if somebody is asking for that, is Rahul Gandhi, our leader. He is asking for that.
बदामी के कंट्रोल
Rahul Gandhi ji went to the Badani cantonment area. So may I speak, sir? Please bring the house in order, sir. The house would be in order, but you may please speak on the facts. Wrong informations cannot be spread here in the house. You must not spread wrong information. Please bring the house in order, sir. We can't bring this wrong facts here before the House. We have to be. Sir, would the camera come on me? Yes, thank you, sir. Honorable Speaker, sir. Honorable Speaker, sir. Now we talk about the Operation Sindoor. Today, I listened to the speech of Honorable Rajnath Singh Ji. I didn't understand that when he was delivering this speech, then about what time he was expressing, what timing he talked about which date, which time he talked about. I couldn't understand whether he was about speaking about 2016, and after that he didn't he say that we will have access to the terrorists and will kill them, and the infrastructure will be annihilated. All this is were there in the past also. Now also we listen to the same thing about Pulwama, that after Pulwama today, our fighters have gone there, and now the Pakistan will never be attacking and raising finger against India. And after that, once again, the same things are being repeated here, despite those things happening time and again, that will have access to their country and kill them. We did this and that. He's just bragging about all those things. Now also he says that Operation Sindoor could not be completed, that is incomplete, because tomorrow again the Pakistan can do the same thing and we will attack them again. He himself is saying the same things. He himself is mentioning that after this also Pakistan can do anything. Then what kind of system we have then? Are we success? Is not success. Today he says that our objective was not to have war, but why not? We should have been there after this. We also want to ask him. Today he himself said that our objective was not to take the land. Why not? Pakistan occupied Kashmir. If we can't take now, one will take that Pakistan occupied Kashmir back. And he himself said that our objective was to see that the infrastructure of terrorists was to be attacked. So after Uri, didn't we do that? After Pulwama also didn't we do that? However, after all these things, Pakistan has got this audacity to attack at Pahalgam. After in the last 20 years, these citizens of a country, if he have been attacked so badly, this in the times of yours. In your time, so Uri happened. In your time, Pulwama happened. Now, in your times, this Pahalgam, how and why they fell down, what were the mistakes? Is more important to know, and the number doesn't matter. We have the Rafale also, sir. 35 Rafale we have. But if some Rafales have fallen, but it's a matter of shame, sir, if it has happened. 35 Rafale, out of that, if some Rafale fell down, then it's a matter of grief. You may say that 35 is enough. But if some Rafale had fallen down, then after that he mentioned that we understood our mistakes, we improvised on them, and after 2 days, our jets were flown over and we attacked from a distance. But sir, I would like to have this information from him that we have the message before us is this, that the best fighters we have in our country, the best pilots we have, then why CDS had to mention this thing? What were the conditions that he mentioned that our pilots, our fighters cannot go in a close range? They have to fire from a distance only. Why, sir, it is so? What kind of restriction is there? That CDS had to mention this thing, that our fighters, they committed mistake. From the first day we improvise and then we attack from a distance. Can't we attack from the closer areas? This information must be given to us. We also want to know that Lieutenant General Rahul Singh in the House, not in the House, not to the members, not to the political parties' floor leaders. In FICCI he said, what did he say? That too I am going to translate in Hindi, that Pakistan was just on the front and behind Pakistan, China was there supporting them in the war. And it's not a matter of surprise because in last 5 years, almost 80% hardware of Pakistan is provided by China only. So, sir, I would like to ask today to Rajnath Singh ji that the government which is talking about showing red face to China, but he never mentioned the name of China in his speech. Army is saying about China, but he is not able to say. They say that today only China and Pakistan is not just two-front attack. Now it is going to be three-front attack against India. This can be convergence. China, Pakistan, and Bangladesh can also come together against India. But the government must be reminded here that these two fronts which talks about who had started this thing, this warning, who had issued this warning was mentioned by Rahulji in this August House only. And we also want to know that today the war which has happened in this, how much support Pakistan got from China. We won't like to ask from army. We would like to know from Rajnath Singh ji and from Modi ji about this matter. And sir, this defense attaché which is there in Indonesia, that is matter of surprise. That what did it say? Indian Defense Attaché Shiv Kumar ji, I would like to translate in Hindi, that he said that these fighters were lost by India. Why we lost fighters? Because some military targets, restriction was there to attack those targets. Why it is so, sir? What was the restriction to attack those targets? And what were these political constants? You said that on 9 targets we had attacked. However, from sources and media we get this information, and today Lieutenant General Rahul Singh also mentioned that 21 targets were chosen in the beginning and then changed to 9. Why it so? Why did it happen? Today I want to know that in the last 20 years, the most deadly attack on women, on children, on the soul of our country, this happened. And we could feel that apprehension. We got together and in consensus we supported Modi ji that you go and you create this kind of atmosphere was there, that the country is together and we were ready to pay any price for the unity of this nation. The whole country was with Modi ji, the whole opposition was with Modi ji, and suddenly on 10th May this ambassador says that we'll attack Pakistan, and 10th of May we get this information in the evening that we are halting this war. The ceasefire is going to be. Why it happened so? We would like to ask Modi ji, we wanted to know that if Pakistan was really on its knees, then why didn't you why did you stop, and why did you bend towards them, and why did you surrender? Why did you leave this war in lurch? And because of what? Maybe because of US President, that 26 times he has mentioned this thing, that on trade he had warned India and Pakistan, and both were compelled to finish this war. And 26 times he has mentioned this thing. President Trump himself says this thing, that 5-6 jets have fallen down.
एक एक जेट
Even single jet costs crores of rupees, millions and millions of rupees. So therefore I want to know, we want to know it categorically from Honorable Defense Minister. He should trust us. Country wants to know the truth, and country is courageous enough to learn it. You tell me that how many fighter jets were fell down, because this information is not only pertinent for citizens of country. We should also tell this to our army personnel. Even they are being lied to, and misinformation is being spread among them also, and we want the truth to come on the floor of the house. Sir, it is about foreign policy as well. How are you talking about foreign policy that it has succeeded? How can we say this? Honorable Rajnath Singh ji participated in Shangri-La dialogue, and the draft which was prepared by them, which was declined by Government of India. Some of our own friendly countries were involved in the formulation of that draft. I would not like to name them, but there are countries who are considered traditional allies to India, and today even they have hyphenated India and Pakistan, and we should not be happy by the language game that in Brazil's document, that not even Pakistan but Jammu Kashmir has been mentioned in Brazil documents only. They have not condemned Pakistan, but you are happy even with that. If you are happy even with that, then I wish to know from you that the IMF, which has extended $1 billion economic support to Pakistan, what is your stand on that? I want to know the financial support worth 800 million to Pakistan from ADB. What is your stand on that? World Bank has extended $40 million as financial help to Pakistan. What is your stand on that? Who will utilize that money? Actually, all this money would not be utilized by Pakistan. It would be utilized by the remote control of Indian Pakistani government, that is army. So all this money will go to those places which were targeting, which were hitting. So are we so feeble? Is the Vishwaguru so weak? Is the global fraternity is not posing so much faith, not posing even that much faith in India, that India could stop the small financial India could stop the financial aids to Pakistan from ADB, IMF or other agencies? Not a single country could tag Pakistan as terrorist state. FATF, Financial Action Task Force, which was a good controller on Pakistan, but that even that agency has exempted Pakistan from the list of terrorist nations. So therefore we demand from the government that please don't be afraid. Please don't be afraid from the truth. Even that day, the whole country, whole opposition parties were standing with the government, and even today against terrorism, in the favor of truth. This country and opposition are with the government. Don't consider us as our foes. Please don't consider as your foes. We are not your foes. We are speaking in the favor of our country, of our people. But please let us know the truth. Please consider us eligible to know the truth. Give us right to listen and know the actual things. And the more you spread lies and falsehood, we will keep on asking you the questions. And therefore, today I am here. I had a lot of expectations that we will get to know the facts about Pahalgam. Honorable Home Minister will take moral responsibility. National Security Advisor will take moral responsibility, and Honorable PM will explain before us that why did he halted the Operation Sindoor immediately, instantly. Through media, we were listening that we are reaching to Karachi. Those who are fed information by you only, and when listening to them, we were sensing that we will reach to the Karachi and we will demolish the Pakistan. But somewhere we stumbled meanwhile, and the final results could not fructify. We should not retrench. We have to march forward in the favor of democracy, in the favor of India. With these, I wind up. Thank you.
श्री रमाशंकर राजभर
आभारी हूँ अध्यक्ष जी।
I am grateful to you, Speaker, sir.
In country and in Uttar Pradesh, the voice of poors and our honorable leader, Shri Akhilesh Yadav ji, and on behalf of the people of Salempur, which is my constituency, I extend my gratitude to you that you allowed me to speak on such an important issue, sir. First of all, I want to apologize from sisters and mothers who lost their relatives, their husbands in Pahalgam, and we could not save them. I have full faith in the valor and the pride of our army, sir. At the same time, the innocent tourists who lost their lives, I remember them with heavy hearts. I also remember our brave martyred soldiers who lost their lives in this attack. Sir, there is an adage in Purvanchal that do whatever you like, but at least you should defend yourself first. This government is doing a lot of things and doing lot of lip services, but they are not able to defend their own periphery. So if that had been done, then this would not have been possible, that from hundreds of kilometers a terrorist would have come inside our territory and killed our people and run away. This would not have happened. Our ex-defense minister, our leader, late Shri Mulayam Singh Yadav ji, was a great leader. He is the only leader who is called as Netaji after Subhash Chandra Bose in this country. Sir, he had stated on this very floor of the House that India should not function under any pressure and tutelage. India should follow the path of our own pride, be it China, US or Pakistan. India should not bow down in any condition. Our relations with US are strategic, but we should keep in mind that any type of cooperation should be based on equality and equal status. Whatever happened was very pathetic, and I want to raise some questions regarding this only. What kind of foreign policy and internal policy we should follow? Our border should be safe, fields of the farmers should be safe, and stomach of the poor should be safe. This should be our policies. But actually, what happened on the ground? The situation which has arose before us. About it, I want to state here, the defense minister had stated on this floor of House that we killed hundreds of terrorists. I welcome it, but among those 100 terrorists killed, those 4 were killed or not who were behind the Pahalgam. this question was not raised. The country wants to know that when would they be caught or killed. This incident happened on 22nd April, and Operation Sindoor started after 17 days. Hope definitely there will be a situation. What the country wanted, what was the intent of terrorists, it was very bad. They intended to divide the country on the religious grounds to inflate the riots among the country. And I want to congratulate the people of the India that they defied the intent of the terrorists, and Hindu and Muslim altogether annihilated the intent of terrorists. Sir, I want to state the way terrorists attacked India and the government's response were not very sufficient. Responses were not very sufficient. Another member was also speaking about it. Our leader Mulayam Singh Yadav ji never ever talked about surrender. On 30th June, on 22nd April, attack happened, and after 17 days, on 7th May, Operation Sindoor was started. What was the pulse of the country? The whole country was agitated and grieved. The country wanted not only Operation Sindoor, but Operation Tandoor. Country wanted that Tandoor, and that the terrorists should be roasted in the Tandoor. This was the pulse of the nation, and in 3 days only the whole attack was stopped. On 7th May, operation started. On 10th of the May, it was winded up by the Vishwa Guru, who should not feel proud that our Prime Minister should be Vishwa Guru, but on the contrary, actually, to the person, actually our Prime Minister did not turn out to be Vishwa Guru. Somebody sitting in the Donald Trump publicly on global platforms claimed on 26 times that he stated this. He claimed the credit to the fact that he knew trade. He also said that 5 Indian jets fell down, and he also said that Indian Prime Minister was not cooperating initially, but in American mediation was necessary. All these claims were in global media and in headlines, but Government of India did not give any response on these statements. Sir, we are aware about the friendship between Modi ji and Trump. But despite this friendship, US voted in favor of Pakistan to get a loan from IMF. After few weeks of Pahalgam attack, Hasim Munir, who is the head of the Pakistan Army, was invited by US, and even during a national period when we were grieving, Indian government could not segregate and isolate the Pakistan at global platforms through diplomacy in OIC, etc. Also, we could not challenge their false narrative. Neither we could get sympathy and cooperation from Muslim countries. Whole global media sensations were snatched by Trump's statement, but our stand could not reach, our narrative could not reach to the global platforms. Despite our collaborations with multiple national agencies, we could not stop the Pakistani agencies to get validation and support from various thousands of terrorists visit that place. Despite this, terrorists were roaming free, and they attacked the people on religious ground and killed the people in broad daylight in a cold blood, and there was a complete absence of security personnel at that place, and it is really very unfortunate that the governor of that place said after 3 months that there was a mistake, there was an error in the security paraphernalia. Those who are responsible for this terrorist attack, why are not they still arrested? If government is running a multi-agency operation and is claiming that the surveillance has been beefed up, so how are they roaming free? Don't we have a ground network which that our relation with Pakistan is bilateral and no third party can ever be allowed? However, Trump's intrusion shows that Modi government allowed the intervention of US, which is in contravention of Shimla Agreement, happened in 1972. Sir, if Trump is right in his words, then it means that India has allowed US to intervene in its strategic and military decisions, and we have lost the sovereignty. It means only, and I want to state that whether there was US role in the ceasefire between India and Pakistan, whether is it true that fighter jets were fell down, if all these facts are true, then why did not we get to hear it from our government? Our government stated that all these situations were not true and situations were under control and everything was normal. Both cannot be stating truth. Either our government is trying to hide something or Trump is right. These such situations seriously hamper our government's credibility. If really some jets were shot down, then our people should know. And if this did not happen, that why is not government responding? The language of the Trump and the statements by Trump has hyphenated India and Pakistan once again. Therefore, I want to state that if our attack was righteous, then why did it happen that 32 countries in 32 countries we sent our delegation comprising of 69 people? So if our operation was right, then why did we send our delegation? And if the delegation was sent, what was the benefit that accrued? I want to know. You allowed me to speak. For this, I'm thankful to you.
ধন্যবাদ চেয়ারপারসন মহাশয়।
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I am speaking on behalf of my party, All India Trinamool Congress. First of all, I would like to thank all of our warriors, our Air Force, the Independence Kashmir and Jaish-e-Mohammed, which is a terrorist organization, and the terrorist organization, and to destroy all of them on behalf of Indian Army, the attack which is named as Operation Sindoor, and those who were commemorated, BSF, CISF, and all the other Jawans, those who were associated with that attack, and I would like to salute and I would like to provide my obeisances to all of them. In our state, Chantu Ali Sheikh, who was a soldier, whose house is in Krishnanagar, he died in Udhampur, and I would like to salute him also. On Sindoor will not be successful. The credit goes to all of our 3 army personnel. Eta amader this.
No one can take away the credit excepting.
Then we will see that 4 terrorists who were and 26 citizens of our country were killed, and it was deeply mourned, all of our citizens. And out of 26 terrorists, 3 were of from West Bengal, that is Pritam Adhikari from Patuli, Kolkata, Shamir Ghosh, Behala, Kolkata, and Manish Ranjan Mishra, Jhalla, Purulia.
It is surprising that how those terrorists came there, how the 4 terrorists came there. Those 4 terrorists have killed and shot dead the 26 people. What our BSF, CSSF, what they were doing, what Mr. Amit Shah was doing, Home Minister. Mr. Home Minister, what you were doing that day. It is for their terrorists walked away to Pakistan, and our people, our soldiers, our Nityanandaji, such a man, this was not there. Who will be taking the responsibility? This responsibility has to be taken by the Prime Minister. This responsibility has to be taken by the Home Minister to the 104 from the higher authority of our country. You cannot hold a single terrorist and you are saying that you have killed hundreds of terrorists. Only the lecture will not do. Ajit Doval was doing. They have banded what the intelligence department was doing. So far why the man has been kept? Ajit Doval is very experienced and he is supposed to do the things which he cannot do. You are Prime Minister, you are there. I have been listening this that you are the guard of the country. You are such a guard that 4 terrorists entered into the country and killed 26 people and they walked away. How the guard you are? Please, you do not need to give if a guard like you is there, so many other Indian people will also be killed. The doctors are working during Corona, but the credit was taken by Narendra Modi. In Operation Sindoor, the armed forces fought, but the credit goes to Narendra Modi. And terrorist camp are attacked, and in Sialkot also. No, I accept that India did not attack the common people of Pakistan. I accept it. I take it on its face value. And the common people were not killed in Pakistan, and Pakistan have also not informed this. During Operation Sindoor, the steps are very limited. In our Jammu, Kashmir and Punjab, and are attacked by Pakistan, those attacks have been seen by the people. This cannot be ignored. This cannot be ignored that the people of Jammu and Kashmir are attacked by the Pakistani forces. So far, I have not got any evidence of those things that India has. We are agreed to it. But if you are having something wrong, that will always point out. from 7th May to 10th May, 140 crore Indian people are waiting. And the whole India is saying that kill Pakistan and kill the Pakistani soldiers. On 10th of May, that day I was in Calcutta High Court. Sometime in between I was listening to the news. I was looking at the news and waiting that Pak-occupied Kashmir will be captured by us. But suddenly at 3:30, I came to know that there has been a ceasefire. Have you ever heard that when you are going to complete the century, can you declare at that moment? Have you heard this anytime? Whenever 90 run is completed, will anybody say the innings is declared? But only Modi ji can do it. Nobody can do it. Modi ji, will you please don't enter into the cricket match? Then the whole country will be finished. It was the matter of 100 runs, but after 90 runs, you have declared. It is shame for us. We do not know what is going to happen. At 3:30, the news came.
Congratulations to both countries.
Congratulations to both countries for using common sense and great intelligence. Is there anything shameful more than that? American president has decided this, while myself as a opposition candidate, I am with you. We are always with you. We will fight. 140 crore people will fight against you. And you have stopped the fight on the behest of American president. And then you are saying that it is not for the American president. Narendra Modi, a prime minister, why you have not posted in the X handle post? You are incorrect. Mr. President, American President, you are incorrect. You are incorrect.
To that extent. কি হয় বলুন তো আপনার এই আমেরিকান প্রেসিডেন্টের সামনে দাঁড়ালে
When you stand in front of the American president, your height is decreased and your 56 inches chest is squeezed.
Is reduced to 36 inch from 56 inch. Why you are so much afraid? Why are you so much afraid? Why are you so much afraid to the American president? ভারতের সমস্ত মানুষ যখন
When all the people of India is with you, then your announcement of ceasefire is a wrong thing. We feel it. 140 crore people and they have said, you have snatched my beloved. I cannot forget it. If I am somebody of the deprived people, then I will take the revenge. This spirit should have been there, but you have stopped everybody's desire. My throat is choked today, and that is why I am asking you who have vitiated your light, have you pardoned them? You have to reply to it. You have to reply to it, Mr. Modi. I'm a Bengali. I'll speak in English. You have started a new economical era. In 16th Uri or Balakot, these things have not been seen. Operation Sindoor is a typical thing. You cannot go without banding. You are the bandmaster general. Everything has to be banned. This is also a banding, nothing else. We have seen it in the Pakistan's fight. After achieving independence in 1975, 71, everything in 2008 also, after Mumbai attack, the government led by Manmohan Singh, they are giving pressure to Pakistan. Field Master Manik Shah and Indira Gandhi's government in 71, India shown their supremacy and divided Pakistan in two parts. Today, the political leadership is failed. And the most fascinating thing is to bow down to the pressure of United States. In 66, India, after its independence in 78, to more than 12,000 terrorist activities has happened in 2000 from 2014 to 2025. So many people have been died. And in 89 to 24, only in these last 6 months, 68 people have been done in Jammu and Kashmir incidents. In the last 10 years, 2,850 people have been killed. Out of that, some people are of Indian armed forces. It is a revenge and a surgical strike cannot stop all these things. When Modi ji was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, then he wanted to reply. Even all the protections, how terrorists entered into Indian territory. This was the question of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Today also we are asking the same question. How the terrorists can enter into the territory of India when the border security forces are there?
And there is the intelligence. The question which was raised by the Honorable Chief Minister Narendra Modi during his tenure as a Chief Minister to Manmohan Singh, same question I am raising today to the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his regime as Prime Minister. Give the answer. You have to give answer. শুধু হাততালি মারা কথা বলে দিয়ে চলে গেলে তো হবে না।
Only you cannot clap and go away. You just cannot give lecture and go away. You need to আপনাকে কাজ করতে হবে. You need to work. Why the 15 days were delayed? Somebody else of April, Punjab, Manipur, Telangana, and some in other places, 9 terrorist attacks have taken place. Assam, Manipur, and South India, and in some places in Punjab, the attacks took place. What the steps have you taken? You didn't take any step. On 22nd of April, and the role of Kashmiri Muslim were great. Whenever you see the Muslim people, you are jealous. Those Muslim people saved the Hindus. You didn't go. Whoever is giving the slogans of Jai Sri Ram, you didn't go, but the Muslims whom you do not like, they went there. A portion of media and other people, they were charging them. Even the BJP leaders, they are asking not to go to Kashmir to the general people. Our opposition leader, they are saying that don't go to Kashmir anymore. I said, now I said that you asked Modi ji and Nadda ji not to go to Kashmir. This is what is the culture of BJP. The big question is there is a sign of international pressure behind these steps. In 2016, when the demonetization, you've shown a different reasons. That is, when abrogation of 370 were taking place, whatever the reasons you've shown, the main thing was the suppression of terrorism. What profit you gain? Demonetization took place. 370 came because of suppression of terrorism. You are the failure. The failure is not anywhere else. The 370 was not a failure. It is the failure of yours. Diplomatic relation with Pakistan, when it was going to be snapped, our General Secretary, Abhishek Banerjee, raised 5 questions.
These questions were raised on 16 June. Number 1 question. It has been over 55 days since the Pahalgaon terror attack. It is deeply concerning in a democracy. Neither the mainstream media, members of the opposition, nor the judiciary has stepped forward to raise these 5 crucial questions before the government of India. First question, border breach and civilian casualties. How did 4 terrorists manage to infiltrate the border and launch an attack that killed 26 innocent civilians? Where is the accountability for this massive breach in national security? Number 2 question, intelligence failure and IB chiefs. Madam, thoda 4-5 minutes. If this was an intelligence failure, why was the intelligence bureau chief granted 1-year extension? Status of the terrorists. Where are these 4 terrorists? Where are these 4 terrorists? You are making a gossip. 100 terrorists have been killed. Where is these 4 terrorists? Give us the evidences. POGK and ceasefire compromise. When will India reclaim Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir? Why has not the government officially responded to the US President's claim that he has persuaded India's ceasefire with promise of trade? Global diplomacy and hypocrisy. After reaching out to 33 countries, post-Pahalgaon in the last 1 month, how many extended explicit support of India have received? Give this answer. We need to hear this answer. Madam, আমরা দেখতে চাই
We want to see.
আমরা দেখতে চাই পাকিস্তান
We want to see when India will receive the Pakistan occupied Kashmir. I want to tell the government that bring us our Kashmir, the Pak occupied Kashmir, the way you wanted from 2 April, from 22nd April you wanted us to be with you. We are standing with you. 140 crore people of India are standing with you. I just want to say, why did you cause ceasefire? Why ceasefire was there? If you want to fight, we are with you. I will be in peace when you will bring peace. I will be in peace when you will fight the terrorism against Pakistan. I want to say to Pakistan that you cannot stop India by causing terrorism. You can bring terrorists, you can send terrorists to India, but you cannot stop India just because of terrorism. India runs in its own pace. India knows, 150 crore of Indians know how to fight. We believe that we can fight terrorism and we can fight Pakistan. That's why I want to mention Rabindranath Tagore. In the upcoming evening, we'll see the sunlight where the humanitarian ground is still lying, and there is no hate. There is only peace and civil behavior.
Labu Sri Krishna ji.
Thank you, ma'am, for allowing me to speak on India's strong, successful, and decisive Operation Sindoor. I wish opposition has taken this spirit and expressed it. Ma'am, before I start my speech, let me quote from Kautilya's Ardhashastra. When a righteous king is attacked without a cause, he must retaliate with all his might to protect his people. These are the words from Ardhashastra. These are not just ancient wisdom. They are our responsibility today, responsibility to act, to lead, responsibility to defend. 22nd April 2025, in Pahalgam, Kashmir has seen what has happened, India has seen what has happened, the world has seen what has happened. 26 civilians were killed, 20 others were injured. It was more than a violence. It was an assault on the soul of India. Tourists were held at gunpoint, asked about their religion. Based on that, they were shot dead. They were shot dead in front of their children. They were shot dead in front of their wives. This is not war, it was slaughter. Just 10 days before this has happened, I was there in Kashmir. Kashmir was thriving. Tourists were everywhere. For me to travel 30 kilometers, it took almost 1.5 hours. When I asked the driver, taxi driver, he was telling me, the last 4 years or so, the tourists were flocking into Kashmir and the economy was thriving. But this Pahalgam attack has changed everything overnight. And India, as Kautilya said, has responded. On May 7th, Operation Sindoor was not just a retaliation, it was a statement of restraint, a statement of precision, a statement of resolve. We did not act in anger, we acted in accuracy. We did not just act with emotion, but we acted with ethics. Our actions were grounded in Article 51 of the UN Charter, which guarantees the inherent right of self-defense when a nation is attacked. When the terror crosses borders, self-defense is not just a right, it becomes a duty. With Operation Sindoor, India has sent a very strong message. The message was very clear. India will wait, but India will never forget. This is not aggression, this is assertive deterrence. And behind it stood our armed forces, men and women of unmatched courage. They fought with discipline, precision, and honor. On behalf of a grateful nation, I salute our Army, Navy, Air Force, and Special Forces. Jai Hind to every woman, every uniform that stood between India and terror. This clarity of action, this moral assertiveness was possible because of the bold leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. Under his leadership, India moved from reactive to resolute, from strategic silence to strategic sovereignty. We have seen it with Uri surgical strikes, we have seen it with Balakot air strikes. And under the watch of Raksha Mantri, Rajnath Singh ji, Operation Sindoor was executed with both tactical brilliance and moral clarity. Moral clarity is the need of the hour. India's defense is now not just strong, it was swift, it was smart, and it was surgical. But we didn't stop at the battlefield. We took the truth to the world. 7 delegations, 32 nations. I had the honor of representing India in Qatar, Ethiopia, South Africa, and Egypt. It was led by honorable member from the opposition side, Supriya Suleji. The members in this delegation came from all political parties, but when we were overseas in this delegation, we were all talking in one voice. And what we witnessed there, when we went there, was not just diplomacy. We saw solidarity. The world stood with India, not in sympathy, but in shared conviction. They saw what we stand for and what Pakistan stands for. India has a thriving democracy, whereas on the other side, Pakistan is literally an army-owned state. It has not had a prime minister who has completed 5 years of term after their independence. World has also witnessed what India has given. India has given non-violence and Gandhiji. Pakistan has given world terrorist training camps. We have given refugee to Dalai Lama, and Pakistan has given refugee to Osama bin Laden. We exported teachers, technology, and trust, whereas Pakistan exported terror. The world understands this, and it stood with us. That solidarity was not accidental. It was earned by our External Affairs Minister, Jaishankarji, and our diplomats who worked tirelessly across the continents. Our diplomats has positioned India as a voice of clarity, of responsibility, and of resolve in the divided world. But when we reflect on Pahalgam, on Operation Sindoor, and diplomacy that followed, 3 urgent truths emerge. The first action point, it is time the United Nations defined terrorism. For over 30 years, India's proposed comprehensive convention on international terrorism has been ignored. It has taken so many lives. Let's not just debate about terror, let's start about defeating it. And a terrorist is not a freedom fighter, he has no religion, he has no political ideology. A terrorist is a terrorist. We call upon the government to lead a global campaign for this long overdue definition, to give the can lead this campaign. Second action point, we must work actively with like-minded nations to ensure Pakistan is relisted on the Financial Action Task Force. India must ensure that sponsors of terror are held accountable. UN Security Council Resolution 1373 passed after 9/11 requires every nation to deny financing, sheltering, and supporting terrorists. But across our borders, terrorists are not just shielded their lives. We have gone across every country which has faced terror. Definitely in the terrorist activity, Pakistani fingerprint is very much visible, and the world can no longer look away. We call upon the government to use India's growing global influence to build a coalition for just about land. It's not just about geography. It doesn't stop at the border. It flows through every policy, every innovation, every bite. It's about future readiness, digital, economic, energy-based, and more so importantly, defense. We have seen the example with regards to what's happening in Russia and Ukraine war. Both the countries are waging a war for a very long time, but none of them are able to move an inch forward because technology is advancing so fast so that both the countries can really catch up. Yes, India has been the largest importer of defense but it's high time. It's high time India creates a DARPA-style innovation agency, agile, autonomous, and outcome-driven, to lead breakthroughs in defense tech mainly. Because in this era, technology is the new territory. If we don't climb it, someone else will. A sovereignty must be designed, coded, and manufactured in India. Example I want to give you is Marut. It was designed by HAL, first fighter jet, designed and built in Asia outside the Soviet bloc in 1960s. It was there in India, a jet fighter. But when it was there in 1960s, it should have actually gone in the right direction, wherein we should have had much better jet fighters. But somehow it has digressed, and we are not able to deliver that. It's because unless we have a great vision, unless we have a strong leadership, it will not happen. So I request government to actually look at in a direction in such a way that this defense technology gets enough funding so that Indian manufacturing, Indian defense tech can be on par, because going forward, our sovereignty depends on how much and how well we can innovate, how much and how fast we can innovate in this country. Operation Sindoor showed what India can do in critical hours. Now let's show what we can do in transformational decades. Sovereignty is not just about the LOC, it's about labs, our code, our skies and our chips. Let's not just defend India. Let us define the future. Not just power of strength, but a force of foresight. By our bold leadership in the form of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and driven by the will of 1.4 billion Indians. Thank you. Jai Hind.
माननीय श्री राजीव रंजन सिंह जी।
Honorable Chairman, on 22nd April, in the Pahalgam of Jammu and Kashmir, the terrorist act which took place in which 26 tourists were killed. After that incident, there was a very decisive operation undertaken in this country, that is Operation Sindoor. Just now, I listened to Sri Gaurav Gogoi ji, the leader from opposition side. I thought that he may have gone in details and may have studied, but I did not find any point in his speech. I did not find any point in his entire speech. Not a single word was in the praise of the soldiers and on the bravery of the soldiers. Not a single word he expressed. You talk about your patriotism. The soldiers of the country have brought law to this country, and they are pride of our nation, but you are not saying a word about them. You are talking about landing of aeroplanes, and you are talking about your missiles. You are talking about missiles and combat planes, but you are not talking about the soldiers of this nation. Then you are talking about the terrorist incidents in this country. Is it a new one? It happened during UPA from 2004 to 2014. The terrorism cropped up in this country. It got nourishment in this country under your regime. So many incidents took place, terrorist attacks took place where it happened. Many citizens lost their lives. Many women, they lost their husbands. Many children were killed. Did you ever ask? Did you ever care for this? I was also member of parliament. UPA government was there in power. When the UPA was in power, I was there as a member of parliament. Discussion did take place. What you are doing from 2004 to 2014 during the regime of UPA, the terrorist attacks which took place, 615 people lost their lives in this country. And then you talk about terrorism. The terrorism cropped up during this period. It got nourishment under your regime. 615 lost their lives, and in 206 people, they got injury. And in 2006, there was a train incident in Mumbai. 209 people, they were killed. 800 people sustained injury. What did you do during UPA regime? Nothing happened during your regime. 26 November 2008, entire Mumbai, there was seized by terrorists. How they came? Today you are asking question that how did terrorists came to Pahalgam in the heart of city of Mumbai? How did terrorists came there? You have to reply to this question also. In that terrorist incident, 2 officers of Maharashtra police lost their lives. 2 officers lost their lives, and the entire metro. On 26 November 2011, 175 people lost their lives. 300 people sustained injury. They were wounded. What did you do? 29 foreigners were also killed. Foreign citizens, they also lost their lives in that incident. The 2 officers of Mumbai police, they also lived, the joint commissioner of Mumbai police also lost his life. You are just shedding crocodile tears. Did you hold discussion in the House? After holding discussion in the House, you just shed crocodile tears, and you bid adieu to the Home Minister. You brought a new Home Minister, and you allowed terrorism to get nourished in this country. You are talking about terrorism now. You do not have any conviction to wage a war against terrorism, and you did not have any mechanism to wage war against terrorism. You just shed crocodile tears during your regime.
And let me just also tell that in Mumbai, the incident of Mumbai and the main accused who was hiding in America, you could not muster the courage to bring him to justice or to India. But Pradhan Mantri Modi ji, the Prime Minister of this country, he got that person to India. And you're talking about that?
It's true that today in this country, in India for the first time, that against this terrorism, this resolution which has been taken and which has been shown clearly, that was in 2016, started when the Prime Minister of this country said that in our country's land we will never allow the terrorism to develop, and this is going to be decisive, and definitely the terrorists are to be taught a lesson by entering into their territory. This kind of resolution was passed by Honorable Modi ji. And 2016 also, when this Uri incident happened, 25 persons were killed, 25 soldiers were killed in the Uri sector. And after killing these 25 soldiers, the Prime Minister of this country led a decisive battle, and surgical strike happened in Pakistan, in their territory, and the terrorists were annihilated. This has been done by the Prime Minister. This resolution is worked against terrorists. This fight has been fought, and you can't see this thing. These terrorist training centers were ended in the surgical strikes, and hundreds of terrorists were killed. And then again, when this terrorist activity happened, and CRPF Jawans, this vehicle was, it faced a suicidal attack. And after that attack, Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, under this leadership, this government, through its resolution, reiterated, and airstrikes happened, and all these training centers were destroyed. As Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar, all these training centers were destroyed and decimated. And now you are teaching a lesson to Modi ji. You are teaching him how to fight against terrorism. You cannot fight against terrorism for these many years, or when he ruled after independence, maximum ruling has been done by you. You have had the reins, so you should have told what have you done. You didn't do anything, so it's nil by nothing. So what can be said about that? So in Pahalgam, they were thinking that is with what kind of objectives they came here. These things were mentioned here. That with these objectives, they came to Pahalgam, the terrorists entered there. Did they ask you before entering there? How have this information that with this objective they came here? This kind of thing you must not speak. At least the unity and integrity of this country must not be made a mockery of by you people. And the country's government is definitely against all these terrorists. So this credibility is losing in your side. And in coming days, nobody is going to favor you. Just remember this thing. Airstrikes happened by Honorable Modi ji after Pulwama incident on 26th April. At Balakot, we entered the territory and we had the airstrikes against the terrorists. The training centers were decimated by our government. This is the resolution of our Prime Minister Modi ji. This was the determination. And now, Operation Sindoor, if you come on that, on 22nd April at Pahalgam, this incident happened. you please see that voters who have made these fake cards, you just go there and see that. You may please don't speak while being seated. Let him speak. Don't intervene. You may please be seated at your seat, on your seat. Feeling has been touched. One thing I must tell you, that if real disease is understood, then the treatment occurs, treatment is proper. If diagnosis is proper, then definitely the treatment is also proper. If the diagnosis is in the right direction, then the ailment can be cured, definitely. You don't worry about that. When you will be given chance, you can speak. Tourists who had gone and country to the place where they went with families, they were spending their vacations, and now these terrorists, they attacked them. 26 persons were killed. These 26 persons were killed, and our Prime Minister, if you see his soul is there in the country, you must feel to country, and that's why, because he felt the pain, the pinch in his heart. You may please be seated and don't give speeches like that. You're doing all this kind of drama here. Please don't speak anything while being seated. Let him speak. Allow him to speak. Whatever you're speaking is not going in the records. You may please don't talk. So, Chairman Sir, Kashmir, they went to Kashmir. They who wanted to spend the vacations, but the Prime Minister had to act. The Prime Minister of this country had to take action. So those who go to Kashmir for just vacations, they went there. Those who had gone for the fun, they went there. But Prime Minister has taken the action, and the same thing we are mentioning, so they won't understand this thing. They can't understand the thing of some value. So that's why on 22nd April, this incident happened, and Prime Minister came back to country. 24th April, Ranjan Gogoiji mentioned that he went for this election campaigning, election speech. Gaurav Gogoiji was saying this. I'm sorry to say, Gaurav Gogoiji was saying this thing about the election campaign. He didn't go for that. I must correct him. Whatever you speak, you please speak correctly. It was Panchayati Raj Divas, and on that day, every year, Prime Minister goes to some state and he addresses the Panchayat representatives, and on 24th April also, in Madhubani, this Panchayati Raj Divas was celebrated. He went there. However, after going there, what he mentioned for the first time on the incident of Pahalgam, one word he mentioned, he said that I'm deeply hurt by this incident, and this response would be beyond the imagination to Pakistan. He said these things to Pakistan. This one line, in one line he had told this resolution power, he expressed, that was clearly indicated by his speech, that what is there in his mind. In Madhubani also, against terrorism, the resolution which he passed through his speech, I saw for the first time from 2014 to till date, I saw that Mr. Modi delivered his speech in English for some time, and he delivered the speech in English because he wanted to send the message to the whole world. He wanted to send this message to the world that we won't bow before the terrorist activities. We'll fight a decisive battle against the terrorism. He took this resolution against this terrorist activities. Now, Defense Minister also mentioned those things clearly. That thing you may not have noticed or understood well. That's why Minister of Defense also said this thing, that after coming from there, he was discussing this thing with the three defense forces. He had regular meeting with CDS, and everybody listened to the discussions, one thing was clearly told to the country, that our army has been given free power to decide about the date, to decide about the attack, to decide whatever they want to say. They were given the clear freedom to take their action. And on the midnight, our soldiers, 9 terrorists, areas, many persons who were just taking the name of those terrorism, those who were crying about Masood Azhar, I would also die. That kind of message was sent to the terrorists that in this country and in Pakistan also we won't tolerate any terrorist activity, and this resolution was definitely given a clear end. Persons, they went to the cremation of these terrorists in the procession which was done after the death. But Gogoji never said this thing, that army chief went for that. He never said these things. So you have not done that. I know that you won't do that. You do for the politics, for the votes. But Modi ji does the politics for the nation, for the country. This is the difference. But on 6th and 7th May, the incident which happened in form of Operation Sindoor, Pakistan was completely surprised. It never hoped, never thought. And the biggest achievement was like this 9 training centers which were destroyed. Not even a single citizen was hurt in this attack. Not even a single citizen of Pakistan was hurt. We had seen through the satellite imaging also that this decimated terror centers, Pakistani citizens were making the videos of those places and they were making fun of this activity. This is the wonder of Modi ji, that not even a single person from army, not even a single citizen died. Those places were not attacked where the citizens were there. It was a resolution, it was a resolve that we had to fight against the terrorists. We had to destroy the terrorist training centers. That was the motive. After that, what happened? In its response, in retaliation, Pakistan attacked our army installations, on our air bases, on our citizen places. Citizens were targeted in Jammu and Kashmir universities. They attempted to attack those places, and Gurdwara also, and religious places were attacked by Pakistan. They tried to attack those places, and our defense system was so strong that all those missiles we saw on TV, that whatever speeches you may deliver is not going to be any effective. The whole country has seen, Honorable Chairman, sir. On Diwali, we have this rocket as a bomb, and we give it fire, then goes in the air. It like a fire cracker. It bursts. In the same way, Pakistan's fighters were destroyed, and you don't see those things. The whole country has seen it. You may please change your spectacles to see the truth. You may change it, or you may replace the spectacles. The whole country has seen it. And there was all accolades for the nation's prime minister, and they have been destroyed. The fighter jets of Pakistan were destroyed. The defense minister and the speech of home minister, if you had listened, then the Minister of Defense mentioned that we didn't lose anything. We didn't lose any fighter jet. Then you still keep on asking how many fighter jets we lost. You are simply asking those questions for which already answer has been provided, that we destroyed their jets, our jets were not destroyed. And after that, when India